Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert. It's been a little bit since our last episode. I've actually been, I did do a bit of prep on here, and did a little bit more automation and stuff. I had to go out and find another ice dragon, which we're going to talk about in a moment. And, but it's also partially due to just where I'm at in Stasia, starting to get ready for endgame. So I did spend about a week pretty much focused on there. And I had to change over my E2 storage. It was just a lot of work. But anyways, I have my inventory filled up with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff here. And we're going to pop over. We'll take a look at the automation stuff. A quick look at that in just a moment. But let's pop over. Since it is night now, we are going to make ourselves some crystal swords. And I just realized I don't think that this is enough. I think I actually need a couple more. There we go. There's 4. And then let's pop over. I'm going to get a few things on my inventory, though. If we take a look, I've got this laid out right here for making draconic cores. Now, before we do that, let's actually take a look at our gates. Extreme reactors. What do we need? Reactor controller. This is actually pretty easy. I think we're going to go ahead and do that in just a moment. But let's go ahead. Let's get our draconic cores. And let me get these. I think we'll go ahead and do the gate, though, for big reactors. Just so that I can get credit for that. Yeah, I'm going to need 4 more of these. But we're going to make some mob grinders. We're going to go ahead. Let's get 2 for now. At this point, they're actually not expensive. Charged draconium is probably the worst part, realistically, but everything else is actually super simple at this moment. Plutonium, that's one thing we haven't actually set up for cyanite yet. Of course, this is craftable with mana-infused metal and cyanite blocks, which we can make just by running them through our reactor. But we actually got plutonium, of course, from hunting dragons. But while it's night, let me go ahead and get the other crystal swords that we're going to need real quick. And then let me get the reactor controller for extreme reactors. Let me toss one of these together. I think most of nuclear craft at this point is pretty much automated, so this shouldn't be too bad. I don't have metal pressing automated, but that's about it, really. Okay, there is our reactor controller for big reactors. So that's going to finish a quest for us. And at the moment, I don't actually want the reactor, but later we'll get it. We'll go ahead and get the reward for that. And then we got Draconic Evolution. We'll go ahead and take the choice reward for that. And then we have the environmental tech. Okay, we got Supreme Pizza, Draconic Evolution. Okay, we have Dragon Heart. Oh, and an experience reward. We'll go ahead and just take that. There we go. Draconium. Let's take that. Hardened casings. Hardened casings would actually be a pretty nice reward if you don't already have them, because then you could just teach your system to replicate them. And 8 rustic pots. And as far as the automation that we have in place now, I've started setting up this over here. Basically, this was for making the signalum for our mob duplicator, our signalum cell frame. This helped out a bit. It's not complete automation. We still have to make rosin over in the power building. Rich slag and cinnabar aren't really automated yet, but they're all going to be automated in a way that they just stay stocked. So they're not actually going to be in the 82 building, but we don't have those fully automated yet. Lumium I have to manually melt down. Flux stuff is automated at the moment. The hardened cell frame is set up for automation, but it's not plugged up to 82, so I just dumped the items in the chest at the moment, just because I haven't ran the cables over. I gotta make more cables, but a lot of the stuff is automated. It's still a little bit of a process, but I basically just really need to get metal pressing set up over here. But I do have that, and atomic disassembler, and the empower over here. Induction smelter, a couple fluid transposers set up in place. And I did do a little bit of building. We'll take a look at that here shortly. And I guess we'll just have to get into some advanced rocketry That's the last gate, but we're a long way from being done. But let's go ahead and get our other mop grinders. Probably seems excessive, but for the setup that we're going with, it's going to be important. How do I have... Oh, we must have got those as a reward. Huh, I could have saved some materials there. That's okay. Not really that much. Could have saved some plutonium, that's about it. I did go out and I got a ice dragon in a mob imprisonment tool. So this is just a stage 3. I just found it above ground. Nope, don't. There we go. I don't want him to run off and start freezing things, but did get an ice dragon captured. And at this point, I think we have everything that we're going to need, minus the modular storage. We don't need that. That was for something I was thinking of doing, but I didn't end up deciding to go with that. But what we're going to do, let's pop down here first, and I'll show you what I have set up. This is going to be an ice dragon spawn and kill area. That way we don't have to keep looking for ice dragon caves, because it's a nightmare. I did paint a travel anchor here so that we can step inside if we need to, and kind of access this room. But that way we can get inside of here and it's not a big hassle. We don't have to have a door. I thought about using ineffable glass, but it really just didn't look right, you know, in this build. Ineffable glass just did not fit. So we've just got blue cave crystal as our walls, and then just the travel anchor. So I think it's a little bit more fancy. And it's not really like labeled where it's at, but it's just right there and right there. So pretty easy to remember, I guess, because it's like centered there. And what we're going to do, before we get started with that, let's pop over... I'm going to need 2 other things here. Whoops. Over to here. Well, I guess I could get them from the control, or from the AE2 system. But let's get ourselves a stack of network cables and some connectors. Let me get 2 stacks, just in case. And let me get a few pressurized fluid conduits as well. And we're going to pop over to the astral area. Now, this area right here is an absolute experience-making monster that we set up forever ago. And if you recall, we actually set up the XP storage down here, but we didn't actually do anything with it, right? Because it's basically just been... I did upgrade the tanks a while back to reinforced, but beyond that, that's been it, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to put down some pressurized fluid conduits, and we're going to start extracting this XP. And I don't want to insert. That's just an extra check I don't want it to do. Start extracting that liquid XP, and we're going to put down an ender tank. Just right here is fine, and just start feeding that XP into here. So this will be our kind of like general XP line. But this thing... It makes a monster amount of experience, because I'm at 200, and you saw whenever I came over here, I got like 3 levels, right? It's just constantly pumping out XP, and I haven't really been doing anything with it. It actually makes... I think our tools have copper, right? Or something. Yeah, well-established and well-established. 7. I need to put more modifiers on this for like... I don't know what it would want. Maybe... Oh, I could put a little bit more speed on it, since instant break, I guess, isn't enough. And they're unbreaking and everything, too. But that gives us an XP line that we can then tap into, of course, and make use of that. So, and the setup that we're going to be setting up today, we will be doing an identical setup in the Fire Dragon area, I think, when that time comes. But I'll probably do it off camera, because we will have set up one over here. But let's go ahead, let's pop down, and let's just kind of open this area up a little bit. And what I'd like to find, let me bring this down, let me bring this down, and then over here. But I think this will be a fun setup, and it will be quite useful for our needs, since as we build out the dragon area and just that big chamber for the AE2 area, I'm going to need just a lot of dragon parts for making armors and just different things. So we're gonna definitely need some automatic ice dragons, I think. Not to mention they're super rare, and I just don't want to deal with it And then let's pop out for just a moment. Let's put a screen in. Oh, where do we want it to be? I think over here on the wall, maybe. Actually, maybe right here. So it's kind of out of the way, but it'll be there if we need to access it. And then we'll pop back in. Let's go over, and we are going to put in a, we're going to have it not really be visible, but another screen controller. And we're going to go ahead and scan it, found that screen. We are going to then attach a connector to that. Our XNet computer, I don't really want that visible either, because it's going to be something that we set up one time and we're not going to touch ever again. So we're going to put this in, say right here. We're going to put a connector in right there. We're going to put a flux point in, say right here. We'll go ahead and connect it to our network. And then let's go ahead, let's give the channel idle be energy. And we're going to go ahead and say that you can extract. Oh, wait, though. No. Let's actually do it. The flux point here and the controller here. Okay, so let's clear that. Oops. Let's clear that. The flux point, we want to extract the energy. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because that way the controller has energy automatically from the flux point. And then it can just feed energy into the things that it needs energy to go into. So there we go. That has power now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a couple just redstone systems. This is going to be handled by XNet. And let's put in a redstone receiver here and a redstone receiver here. And let's put in a connector, or no, not directly on it though. Because sometimes it has issues reading that. And we'll just run redstone out of this. And then we'll put a connector in there. And then just run that over, connect that up. And we're going to make channel 7 is going to be a XNet logic system. So we'll go ahead and just set that in. And let's read off of, this is going to be, let's call this system on. And we're going to call this one kill only. And then let's come in here, let's create. This one is the system on, and so we're going to say it's going to be a sensor, and we're going to set it to redstone. We're going to say greater than 0, and we're going to say the output color is going to be white. And then we're going to do the kill only sensor, redstone, greater than 0, and it's going to be red for the kill only. And then what we're going to do is let's come over and let's attach connectors. Well, let me pop back up first because I need to figure out. I think we're going to do, I guess what we're going to do is we're going to do automated user there. And then we're going to do mob grinders in here. I'll place them from the back side. Automated user. These are just the cyclic automated users. If you guys watch the original Enigmatica series, you know I love these things, and farmers and stuff like that. Cyclic has some really good machines. They do require power, unlike a lot of other users, but they have a lot more control here. So we're going to set this to require redstone. And you could see the preview, if we turn this on, we're going to set it up to a 9x9. So it covers actually a large radius here. Vertical offset, -1, and then it would do the ground there. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's do that, actually. So when they're set up correctly, they're going to look just like that. Okay. Now let's pop back down now. Let's come up over here. Let's open up right there. And then we're going to put in a mob grinder right on the bottom of these. Make sure the fan is facing backward. We want the basically the skull and crossbones to face, or the skull and swords to face off in this direction. And of course these are going to pretty much instantly kill mobs in like a 7x7 range in front of it. So we're going to be using these. There's other things, like if we wanted to, we could use the industrial foregoing, the mob crusher, or something like that for killing the dragons, but it's just going to be faster and keep the room under control a bit better. There we go. We got all of those set. And then I'm just going to come in and just behind these, I'm going to put in collectors on that, and connector, not collector. Connectors on that, and just run this down. And then I'll probably just go through here, just keep it a little bit more clean. Connectors. And then run that over. And then over here again on this side. And then what I'd like to do is let's just open this up just so we can still kind of come down in the center here. And we are just going to run out, let's do it here, I think. We're going to run out some XNet cable over. And that way we can get all this stuff plugged up. And let's go ahead, our insert power line, let's copy that and just paste, 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 paste. I'm not going to paste it onto the automated users just yet. Well, actually, yeah, I am. And right here, we're going to go ahead and just run out a piece of redstone here. And we're going to have that feed into an advanced redstone repeater from Random Things. And we're going to set this up. We're going to say the turn on delay is going to be nothing. I think it goes down to 1 or 2. Yeah, 2 ticks. The turn on delay, we want it to turn on basically whenever redstone is activated. We want it to go ahead and turn on. But the turn off delay, we're going to turn this up to 10 seconds. We'll see how that does. But we'll say turn off delay is 10 seconds. We'll run this out. And then we're going to put a connector onto this. And then just connect it up to our redstone system. And then right here, this is going to be, we're going to call it collect delay. And we're going to come in here, we're going to make a sensor redstone greater than 0 and green, or lime. I think that's a lime. And we're going to leave this on 10 ticks per check, just to make sure it's quick and responsive as far as the redstone goes. And then, let's see, let's pop up, and actually probably a better place to come down will be right here. And that way we can go ahead and put in our mob duplicator. Right there, it's going to go in the very, very center of the room. Yeah, it's going to spawn on top of it, that's fine. We're going to say active on a redstone signal for this. And we'll go ahead and attach a connector onto that. And we can go ahead and start feeding power into that as well. And actually we can go ahead and feed power into these too. So we'll just, everything's going to run on redstone that requires power. So there we go. And at this point everything should have power. This has power. These don't, but if we set it like that it would get power. Because they can only accept power when they have a redstone, or when they're active, you know. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to place, I think it'll be our last item that will be visible above ground. That is the vacuum chest. We're going to go ahead, these cover, let's see, I think it's show range. Oh yeah, these cover a massive area. Still going to go with 4 to keep everything kind of even. Let's put these in, say right here, and then right here. And then we're going to plug up connectors to all of these. Do these not interact with connectors? Will they not, I cannot see them. And I know there's other vacuum collectors that don't actually have to pull the items. But the reason I'm going with these is because they're the best looking thing for our room, I think, for our color palettes and stuff. They're going to look the best, and there's nothing that our items can really get caught on, so that's really not a big deal for us. And I may even shave off the range slightly on these. Let me Let me see, does it go out of the room at all on these front ones? We could drop the range down by 1. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just have it feed then into a chest, just directly underneath it, and then we'll have a connector interface with that chest, is how we'll do it. And I won't need that cable. And then that can just extract and insert. And then we'll do the same thing over here. And actually, I guess one of these, what we'll do, instead of having an extract, we'll just put the ender chest in right here. We're going to be going with white ender chest because that's our general input. Okay, so all those are set up. We're going to go ahead and tell our chests now. We're going to say, let's make an item line. This will be 6. Create. We're going to say our chests you can extract from these. Stack 10. That's fine. Or let's say, I don't think I'll be getting that much stuff. Let's say every 60 seconds. Make a check. Let's copy and then just paste. And we're going to be inserting into this ender chest. So there we go. So all the items can just get sent over to here, which of course then feeds over into our storage network. So this is the, oh, I need to change these. This is going to be system on, and this one is going to be kill only. So for the kill only on the white channel, we don't need to touch the automated users. They're not going to be used at all. What we are going to do is, well, the mob grinders, they're not redstone controlled because they only kill when there's something to kill. So what we'll do then is we're going to put on the mob duplicator, we are going to create, we're going to say it's going to be an output. It's going to be enabled on white, and we're going to say redstone of 15. Okay. So if the white channel is active, then it's going to emit a power of 15 into the mob duplicator. And of course, the requirements for it to be active on white is that the kill only line is getting a redstone signal of greater than 0. And then I don't think really we have any more redstone control to add to this. Then what we're going to do is the system on is the red channel. So we're going to come down on channel 5. We're going to add another thing here. We're going to say output enable on red. And it's going to be a redstone of 15. Okay, so if red is active, emit a 15 power onto the mob duplicator. And then what we're going to do is come up the collect delay is green. So on channel 5, we are going to create output enable on green, and we're going to say redstone of 15. Okay, and this is so that the collectors, the users that break down the dragon will keep running for whatever I set it at. I think 10 seconds, right? Let me see. Yeah, 10 seconds. It'll keep running for 10 seconds after the system is shut down, just to break down any dragons that were still in the system or still being killed, stuff like that. It'll just kill those. And we're going to go ahead and copy that and then just go in and just paste all the way down. And I think at this point that's pretty much... Oh, I'm going to need a fluid channel though. Let me make a XNet fluid channel. That's going to be channel 4. So we're going to use 5 channels altogether. Not too bad. I did play around with getting the users to use bottles on the dragons. It will use them, but it won't actually get the dragon's blood. So I was like, well, yeah, that's not going to work. I could do mechanical users or something like that. But then I have to place them all over the place. And then in addition, if things still have a bottle when they're trying to break down a dragon, they can't break down the dragon until all the bottles are used. It's kind of weird. So I think we are going to just do manual collection for the dragon's blood. It's not something that we're going to be using an absolute ton of. So for the fluid line, what we're going to do is we are going to set up, we'll do it right here, kind of keep it so we can kind of clean so that we can walk around. We're going to put it right here. We're going to have an ender tank, and then right next to this ender tank, we're going to have a fluid dictionary converter. Let's go ahead and set up our fluid dictionary converter. this thing can be a little bit of a nightmare to set up sometimes. We're going to set it to stop. We're going to put in our liquid experience, and we are going to select, it was the cyclic, right? Yeah, it's got to be. It's not essence of knowledge. The liquid XP from cyclic, we're going to select that. And then over here, we're going to set it to essence buckets. And then we're going to activate this, and it's going to turn our liquid XP into fluid essence. And then what we're going to do is just put in a connector there. We're going to go ahead and set this to auto output. That way it just fills it, and you can see it changes it over real quick. And then what we're going to do is in here, we're going to add the fluid dictionary converter to the fluid line. We're going to be extracting. Every 26 is fine. We're going to leave it because it'll default to 1,000 millibuckets. Now, if we want more extraction, we can go with an advanced connector, but honestly, once every second, this should be fine, I think, to keep up with everything. And then on our mob duplicator, we're going to set this to insert. Okay, so our mob duplicator is getting fluid essence, and then we'll just pop up. We're going to be back in here in just a moment. And I think I set everything up correctly. We'll have to double test it. And hopefully everything's set up nicely. Like I said, I haven't tested this, so we may just end up with a bunch of dragons, but this system should be able to handle it. So then what we're going to do is, let's just sneak right click, open this up. We're going to add text, and then button screen module, text, button screen module. And let me pull these out for just a moment. The first one, I'm going to do these one at a time just so I don't get them mixed up. We're going to come over, we're going to take our button screen module, and this is going to be for the system on. And we're just going to shift right click that. Channel set to 2. Pop back out. And we're going to add in that. And then we're going to take the other one. Well, they do say on there which channel, so I mean, I guess I wouldn't get them mixed up, but I still like to be on the safe side. Come over and we'll add that one in. So these are connected to their respective receivers, and so when they get redstone, then the receiver emits redstone. So then what we're going to do is we are going to open this up. We're going to say, for the text, we're going to say Ice Dragon. What if we do like Ice? Yeah, let's do Ice Dragon Farm. Let's center the text and center that text. There we go, Ice Dragon Farm. And we're going to change the color to be the cyan on both of these so that they match up nicely. Ice Dragon Farm. Actually, let me dye it first before we start into that. Let's just dye it like blue. Yeah, that's pretty good. And let's set it to bright also. So it's going to be like that. Okay, so Ice Dragon Farm. And then our first button is there. And let's actually bring this button up by, say, 1. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Maybe bring this button down by 1. Yeah, I like that more. And on this button, we are going to set it to be, this will be the first one. This is the system on, so this is going to be a toggle. Actually, they'll both be toggle. The button will be light blue, I think. If we center this, yeah, there we go. And then down here, we're going to set this one to a toggle. And we are going to say kill only. And we're going to set this to cyan, center it. And then our button is going to say active. And we'll do this as the light blue. Okay, so that's what we've got. Ice Dragon Farm, full system or kill only. Let's pop in. We're going to put our mob imprisonment tool right into there. Let's seal off the floor. And just so I can pop down and show you, we're going to go ahead and just open this up a little bit. Yeah, this should be good. And that way we can get down here if we need to. And we can take a look at the redstone while it runs. And so what's going to happen is if we say, let's activate this system. Let's tell it killing everything. We should say, okay, that's not spawning. Let me set it to full system active. Do the let me have the redstone go directly over to a blue connector, because I think maybe because it's not actually feeding into the connector, I think that's the problem. And I kind of just did the same thing with this over here because it wasn't naturally twisting. It won't. I don't think it'll naturally twist, even though it visually twists. I don't think it naturally twists towards Xnet connectors. I think it has to actually run into them. So now if we say full system active, there we go. Now dragons are coming out. They're getting killed, and we give them a minute. The collectors are not collecting. I thought this was going to work so smoothly. Maybe it's because I'm using two different colors coming in. I mean, I think it has to do with the two different colors, like, conflicting. I believe. Let me try just removing the green channel altogether. Let's see. The dragons get killed. Yeah, that was the issue, was just multiple green, or having the green and the red. It doesn't like multiple colors on the same, I guess trying to run at the same time. Seems like that's the issue. Yeah, this right here is going to be the concern, is this just filling up with just tons of ice dragon skulls. That will be a legitimate concern, but you can see we're getting lots of dragon drops. And what we're going to do is I'm going to set it up so that the dragons get sent over to a specific place and basically get stored up in like dense storage, you know. But we do have all the dragon scales now for ice dragons, and we have 3 different colors of eggs at the moment. So we'll go ahead and just toss those into storage. Oh, it's nice. How many dragon eggs do we got? 1 and 1. Really, just 1? I had more than 1, I thought. Unless ice dragons will not go together, maybe because they have yeah, they will, just our machine can't insert them automatically, I guess. That might be a problem too. I may have to have dragon eggs and they don't stack either. Yeah, I may handle dragon eggs differently too. If I find that they won't automatically insert. But we have more than enough skulls at the moment. And I tell you what, for the delay, what we're going to do, let's just take these position filters, and we're going to shift right click, and then come over and shift right click, because I'm getting stuck with some dragon parts, and I just don't want that, because we can easily fix this. So even though XNet doesn't want to handle multiple colors, we can handle this easily enough. Just having this little bit of redstone not run through the through this connector. So we'll just go ahead and pull this one off. We don't want that anymore. And instead we're going to have an advanced redstone interface from random things, and then we're just going to take these position filters and add them in. So whenever this gets redstone, it'll send redstone to all 4 of those automated users. And that way we don't have to worry about like dragon bodies piling up and stuff. So at this point, I think it's pretty good. I mean, we could add XP collection. I might, but honestly, I just really don't need the XP, to be perfectly honest. But we could get the XP, but honestly, we just don't need it, and it vanishes really quick with mob grinders. I may add it in, and maybe just stick it under the floor with like vacuum collectors. Might do that. Might do that. We'll see. But now we can turn this on, and everything should be working correctly, and we should have a delay now. What's happening is, since we're sending the redstone up through the position filter, it's shutting off the mob grinders. I forget they turn off with redstone signal. Okay, that's an easy enough fix. What we're going to do then instead is shift right click right above these. Because basically what's happening is it's sending a strong signal in, and we don't want that. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to put down our Redstone Receiver right there, shift right click it with the screen module for the button, And what it's going to do, it's going to feed directly into that, and it's just going to be a room purge button. So if something like this happens, and we have a lot of dragons left over, we'll go ahead and just add that in, and I've already filled it out, so you can see it says room cleaning purge. And we're going to go ahead and click that. It's not a toggle, but what it does is it's going to activate those collectors. Oh, but you know what though? It won't feed directly into that. Let's put down an advanced Redstone Repeater. Turn that down, and we're going to say the turn off delay. Let's go ahead and do 15 seconds. Make sure it can purge like a full room if it needs to. And then we'll put our Redstone Receiver down there. And then that should work. So if we come back up, because this is not a toggle button, this is just a normal button. Oops. So it only emits a very short redstone signal. So we hit purge, and there we go. It purges everything out of the room and cleans it up for us. So that should do it, I think. Now we shouldn't have any problems except for taking care of our dragon skulls. I'll set up some storage for that because I'm quickly filling up with dragon skulls. Now, if we click this, full system go. There we go. Now it's working as intended. Perfect. You can see the dragons quickly getting killed and dismantled into small bits. Aha! There we go. And it purged itself. And then we have, of course, the kill system, the kill only. So we can activate that. It's going to spawn dragons and just kind of dump them out and kill them. But it's not actually going to purge them out on its own. And this, of course, is for getting dragon's blood. If we need to bottle up dragon's blood, we have an easy way to do that. And then if we change our mind, we don't want to do that, we can just purge the room. And if we have dragons left over in the room, it's not really a big deal because, like, sometimes they'll fall asleep and maybe not get pushed. You know, if it shuts off with like just a small dragon sleeping at night, you know, they may not go anywhere. But as soon as day comes, they'll get up and they'll move. So that's kind of whatever. They do give a lot of XP though. I may add some XP collection, but once I get a better kind of XP infrastructure, I will add one of those. But let me see how much experience did we actually use? Did we even dent this system much? Not really. We used a little bit of XP, which quickly builds back up, but so I may add it in, though honestly I probably already have enough ice dragon drops that I won't need anymore, like ever. But aside from like dragon's blood and stuff, but we'll see. We shall see. So anyways, with that though, I am going to end out this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something a little bit different, something fun. And like I said, we are going to be setting up a fire dragon system kind of like this one. So that way we have access to as many skulls as we could possibly want, as many dragon eggs as we can possibly want, because I want to put them on podiums and things and kind of decorate with those too. We can make as many armor sets as we want, and it's just kind of free to us. Dragon materials are just free to us at the moment, which will just make our lives a lot easier as far as building this area out. So anyways, with that, we're going to end out this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.